It's the Kings of Fools. That's us.
Kings of Fools.
Welcome to the SKIDS Podcast. I'm Shane Kopke. I am here, as usual, with Tim Gage and Kevin McNichol.
Hi.
You know, the two people that are on the show.
Hello, everyone.
I can't read.
I'm the third person on the show, I guess.
You're handsome. Don't let anyone tell you
Yeah, thank you.
Tim's retarded voice. It's always good for the little bit of a laugh.
He did ours, hand him.
And it's 9/11, everybody. Yay.
9/11.
Our podcast is also a tragedy.
Yeah.
Many
That's true.
Many firefighters died trying to save our podcast. They just couldn't do it.
Collapse
All right, yeah, I was
imminent.
just waiting for you to
Collapse.
fucking hit the end of that.
Collapse imminent.
Oh, I thought you said collapsed evidence. You're like, that's what Building 7 was.
Where's Jesse Ventura when you need him?
Look, they did, get rid of $2 billion at the
Do you remember
Pentagon.
I was a Navy SEAL?
God. I know, and now he's looking like the gravy seal.
Yeah.
Tim, are you on the show
He
today?
looks like the guy from.
He looks crazy now.
Yeah,
With that stringy-ass hair?
I'm trying to
He-
remember.
Dude, he could be the live action Crypt Keeper.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
what I
hair.
was saying. He looked like
Yeah.
the Crypt
From
Keeper
his
now.
neck up, you're right.
Absolutely.
Body
Yeah.
down, or neck down, no.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
neck up, yeah.
Obviously, the voice, we'll have to have a voice actor do the voice over him. Yeah, exactly.
You know, that
'Cause
guy.
we can't have him, oh, you remember when I was a Navy SEAL?
No, or he'd just jump in and be like, here's something scary.
Yeah.
Or whatever he sounds like. I don't know. I'm not the
What's
fucking
with the
person
red
that does
dot
that
of
shit.
the
And he's
OBS there?
constantly
What's that
talking
about?
about how much he hates Chris Kyle.
Oh, what?
And
Chris
he's
Kyle?
constantly talking about how much he hates Chris Kyle.
Dude, it's because Chris Kyle wrote in his book that he fucking socked him in the face.
I heard about that, yeah.
And if it happened, he sued him and got it pulled out of there. Like, he
Mm.
literally sued Chris Kyle for that. And I believe he won the suit. That's why early versions of the book actually have it in there.
But then
And-
later
and
ones, it's
later
removed.
versions, it's that whole. I think it might have been a paragraph or 2 paragraphs talking about it that were actually redacted from the book.
Ah.
Chris Kyle is the American sniper that got
Yeah,
that
right.
got killed
Yeah.
by
He got killed by a guy that had PTSD. They were trying to
Yeah.
do. So they were trying to do.
back in January.
What? He got killed a long.
Yeah, it was,
time
I was going
ago.
to say, it was several
Like,
years ago.
Probably
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But he got killed. So he was doing this thing where he's trying to work with people with PTSD. Bring veterans to like shooting and stuff like that, hunting trips, camping, things like that, to try to
Right.
get them to acclimate back into it. And he brought this guy who had like severe fucking PTSD, and he went fucking crazy at the shooting range and ended up shooting and killing Chris Kyle and the other guy that was with them. And it's nice how the other guy just gets called the other guy now.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't the American sniper
He
that had a movie
wasn't.
made about him.
Yeah, he was.
The other guy was
known.
also some sort of fucking soldier. Don't know what.
That's what you call a
Eddie Ray
foot-
Ruth, a
that-
25-year-old Marine Corps veteran.
Yeah.
See, that's
See?
what you
There
call
we go.
a footnote in history.
Yeah, no, speed bump.
Speed bump. Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah. Footnotes get written down somewhere.
Yeah. I didn't even know his name till just a
I
second ago.
didn't
and
either.
I forgot it already.
To be honest, I didn't even know there was a second guy that got killed. I thought
Look,
it was just Chris Kyle.
This is how we honor veterans on our 9/11 show. Yay. Actually, so speaking of 9/11, we haven't talked about this yet on the show over the 4 years. Like, I'm sure we've said 9/11 a couple
Yeah.
times, but where were you when it happened, and what do you remember? from the
So,
day?
okay, so I was actually home. I was in high school. I think I was like maybe a sophomore or
It was 2001, so
yeah. So
when did you graduate?
actually, no, I was a junior.
Okay.
Because 2002 was my graduating year, and so I remember very well because I was home sick that day with the flu, and so I watched the whole thing happen from my living room couch on TV. Because they cut away from like TV shows and
This
stuff
doesn't
like
sound
that.
like you at all. Lazily watching television.
I know, right? Well, other people are having a more productive day.
Well, I mean, the terrorists were that day.
Well, they definitely
So-
were, yeah.
It was a short day for them, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
You know,
They
They
punched
had
in
a-
and punched right back
Yeah.
out.
They had a half day.
it was a
at
half
work.
day for those guys.
And coincidentally, they also retired. that same day.
Yeah, and their passport was found perfectly on the ground.
Yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff about that.
Weird
day.
stuff. I still don't necessarily believe the government did it, but
No,
there's some weird stuff that doesn't get
There's
explained.
definitely some,
Look,
questions.
I'm one of the people that doesn't have a problem with 19 people from another country hating us. I get that. That's a possibility.
But anyway, so yeah, I watched the whole thing on TV, and I just remember sitting there being like, "This is fucking insane." You know, I mean, it was huge when it was happening. I was just flipping between news channels, watching all the coverage.
I think it's probably the biggest thing that's happened to America in the last.
No, January 6th was the biggest.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's the biggest day in all of human
That's
history.
the day where they'll live in infamy.
Yes, the day that. What was it? 50,000 cops died.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Tragic.
Yeah. All at once.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We
one
almost
guy
lost our
that died.
democracy that day, guys.
Yes,
It's nothing to joke about.
We did.
Not during the coup that just happened.
Taken over by groups of completely unarmed assailants.
Yeah, and a guy in a
Strangely
Viking
enough.
hat.
And a guy in a Viking hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
A shaman, apparently.
So just keep that in mind
So-
on today's date. You know, just let's find out what the real tragedy was.
Yeah.
Well,
don't forget about that. Okay.
Now that kids are they're now reading Osama bin Laden like he was a prophet.
Oh man, that was crazy! Like seeing
He's
people
got
on,
some
like,
points.
Like, oh my god, man, have you guys read this? Like, he actually knew what he was talking
I
about, bro.
can't wait till it comes full circle and kids are going, guys, have you read Mein Kampf? It's got points. You're like, what are you talking about?
This fella, Adolf, I think his name was. Dude, he really knew what he was talking about, bro. Yeah.
And Nostradamus talked about him a bunch of times and added an S to his name for no reason. Hister. Anyway, so where were you and what happened for you that day?
9/11, I was in the throes of addiction at the time, cocaine.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I was on a cocaine bender.
That's why you went the opposite.
And I was also the general manager of a Pizza Hut.
You know what? I almost want to just go into the Pizza Hut shenanigans. Not the
There
9/11.
were some,
Yes,
but
you
no,
told me some.
I was at my girlfriend's apartment that day, and she woke me up. So you got to watch this. This is important. And she turned it on, and it's literally as the second one hit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is this?
Yeah.
I had no idea it was. She's like, someone's attacked the World Trade Center. I was like, what's that? I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
And then this is someone's attacking us. I'm like, holy shit. So then we just watched it for about an hour, and then she had to go to work, and I had to go to work.
See, I did on that day. I was already at work. I was working at UPS at the time, so I think I started at like 4 a.m. or whatever. And I usually would listen to Howard Stern in the morning, but because somebody bitched about it that was working next to me, Scott down at the other end of the belt, he was listening to Howard Stern, and he came up to me, and he goes, dude, somebody just ran into the World Trade Center. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I asked the people around me, I'm like, can I turn on the show? And they're like, yeah, that's fine, you know. Because we just assumed, like most people assumed at the time when the first plane hit, that
It was an accident.
And it was a small plane because that had happened before.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Cessna. Who cares?
It was when the second one hit that everyone went, oh,
well,
this is something else.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The first plane hit, and then I'm listening to Howard Stern talk about it, and then he says a second plane is just hit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are we working?
Yeah.
Like, we're being attacked. I get it. It's on the other side of the fucking country, but, like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was.
You know?
It was a crazy day, man.
The follow-up
It really
days
was.
afterwards were pretty
They were
fucking
intense.
intense.
Exactly. They were intense. And honestly, and then after that, I don't think I've seen America, just like in general, so united. And
100%.
so just like everybody just felt a lot closer. Like everyone got more tight-knit.
Well, I remember George Carlin even after it saying, like, look, I don't trust the government, but during this time when people are trying to kill it, like he was saying things like that. Here's the craziest part, though, about like George Carlin. He was supposed to put out a special. I believe it was like September 12th, and the first thing was about airport security.
Whoa, really?
And how it's bullshit and anybody can get anything on.
Yeah. Because that's another thing.
It really was.
Yeah, and that's another thing. 9/11 not only was the whole event insane and it changed.
Those box
it
cutters,
also
wasn't it?
changed fucking so much about the way we do things here in the United States. Whether it be airport security, whether it
Which
be
is still a joke.
You know, yeah. I mean, this is also when Homeland Security was formed after all this stuff.
Well, we
wasn't
had
it?
Homeland Security
We
before
did?
that, but what we did is we expanded on it.
That's what it was.
There were-
It became a huge.
They became.
thing.
I think that it was initially Homeland Security was like its own little thing, but it became an umbrella of many
That's
other
what.
things.
Yeah. I mean, so
on top
much
of it,
changed because of this.
The biggest problem that came out for Americans through that, outside of like just Islamic extremists, but that had been going on for a long time. I mean, Osama bin Laden started out by attacking in like 93, 94, something like that over in Kenya. The Marine barracks, and then a hotel there too, I believe. But was the Patriot Act.
Yep.
Absolute fucking trash.
Yep.
Absolute
the
trash.
Patriot Act was.
Let's fucking.
Oh my God.
Well, and
it's
I remember.
still just a
I remember
nightmarish
hearing
piece
people
of
go, "Well, if you
legislation.
have nothing to hide, then it's fine for them to spy on you." No, it's not.
Yeah, I hate that fucking argument. That I don't do anything wrong, so I don't mind. You're a fucking idiot.
Yes, those are the people that cause the fucking biggest problems for us.
Absolutely.
Because they're the ones that are like, well, it's fine. They can look into anything that I've done.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
why should they?
Why they should not have the fucking right for that.
The government
at all.
shouldn't be in your fucking business ever.
Yep.
Ever. Stop it. Get it out of it.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I remember. Listening to the Howard, it's still one of the best shows that Howard ever did. To be honest with you, I don't know if you've ever listened to the Howard Stern 9/11 show.
I never listened to it.
It's pretty wild. I mean, in the whole time on there, he's holding it. He's like, "Come on, you know who did this. You know who did this." And the thing is, I didn't because I wasn't into the whole Middle East conflict stuff.
Right.
I didn't know anything about it. Like the most I got out of it is we watched fucking Iraq 1 in class at school.
Yeah. And honestly, obviously, I had no idea. A lot of us didn't really know exactly who had done it at first, but
Yeah.
I know that eventually.
Later
when
that
they
day,
figured it out-
we did.
Yeah. We figured it out.
I mean,
and of course, it's like, oh wow, these are the guys we fucking trained in the '80s.
Well,
that's great.
I remember. Well, see, I didn't know about that till later.
Yeah.
But I remember going over to Jake's house after it, and of course, his dad's like, into God and stuff. So he's like, "Oh, the end days, everything, we're all gonna die." It's
yeah,
like,
there
it's
was a
coming
lot
soon.
of that. A lot of people were
like,
like,
of
"Yeah,
course.
this is the end of the world."
Well,
Big
immediately-
event happens. All
Religious
those guys
parties were
always
going
think
fucking
that the world's
nuts
gonna
over
end.
it.
Yeah.
And immediately, I saw people pulling out the Nostradamus quatrain, where he talks about at 45 degrees, fire
I
will
remember
strike the two brothers from the sky.
Yeah.
And
People just reading into this shit.
yeah, and people were like, "Oh, everything he says is fucking, it's gold." And it's like, is it? I mean, or is he just saying vague shit that can really be put on almost anything?
That's exactly
if
what
you
he's
try
doing.
hard enough, you can fucking land it. I mean, that's why I was making the comment about Hister earlier. Hister is a fucking was like a river, not fucking a person's name.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, it's kind of like horoscopes. How you ever seen that? There's this test that gets done, like different scientists and stuff have done it. They put a horoscope out right into this classroom, give it to everybody. Turns out, and so like
Penn and Teller's bullshit.
Yeah, and they're like, and so it's like everybody reads it, and then the guy asks, "So does this horoscope fit you?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, it fits me exactly," And he goes, "Okay, now hand your horoscope over to the person to your right or in front of you or whatever, So everybody has each other's horoscopes. Now read it. Now does that reflect you?" And everyone's like, "It's the same thing." Like, yeah,
Well,
no shit.
I think that
they're all the fucking same one.
I think that in the test though it wasn't the same. There were just two different ones.
Oh, there was two different ones.
Two different ones, but they were.
But they both connected to everybody.
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
And there was only one fucking person in there. That chick, and this was on the Penn and Teller show. The bullshit. The chick that was like, "This has got to be bullshit, right?"
Yeah.
And then when they said, "Yeah, we're doing this as a recording for Penn and Teller's bullshit," she's like, "I fucking knew it." I love that show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I go through and rewatch it like once every couple of years and just watch the whole thing.
But that's how this shit is. It's this it's vague stuff that can easily be connected to other things.
Well, it's one of the ways they do cold readings.
That's exactly how they do cold readings.
They do cold readings until they hit something, and then you go, "Oh man, this guy knew me so well," and you're like, "No, he got 8 things wrong before he got the one right."
Right. Yeah.
You only remember the right ones because that's the impressive part.
Exactly. That's why they go out there and like, does anybody have like a grandfather that starts the letter M?
Has anyone lost anyone?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's
all these fucking super easy, open-ended sort of questions that they can just jump into. Once they get a hit, they just start fucking
The wildest,
drilling down.
The wildest ones are the hot readings that they do, where they have already researched the person beforehand.
Yeah.
In some way, whether they knew somebody that knew them. Like I remember,
or they have them fill out like cards and stuff at the beginning. Yeah.
I remember watching one where the lady that brought. So this lady knew the people she brought into the show, and ended up going like, "I have a feeling your daughter killed herself." And it's like, well, yeah, because your fucking promoter for your book is their best friends.
Yeah.
Weird how you knew all the shit about
crazy
them.
thing. Yeah.
That's
there was
very specific.
Yeah, and there was the one that James Randi caught. It was Peter Popov, where he had basically his wife had the people fill out questionnaire cards before they came into the show, and then she would take them back, and he had a little earpiece in his ear, and she'd be talking over a radio, going like, "Okay, this woman's name is Phyllis, and her husband died."
How could the audience
blah, blah, blah,
not be privy to that, though? You know, how could the audience be so?
Because people want to believe.
People want to believe.
Yeah, but you just filled out an information card before you sat down at a reading.
Again, though, Tim, people want to believe this.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be fucking stupid.
No,
it worked.
You don't, though, because people want to believe in religion. That's why the cults exist,
it
Tim.
Worked. Yeah.
Well,
People,
totally
it's not. It's because people they want to believe that there's something outside of themselves that can control things, because then they don't have to have the responsibility for stuff. They don't have to feel the pain that they have because they feel guilty over stuff.
It's nice to have a fall guy.
Yes,
I get you.
And that's one of the reasons why people want to believe in this shit. They also want to believe that there's another place that we go when we die.
It makes existence pretty dull when you think that this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people definitely cling to that. I agree to that.
Yeah, so I mean, you grew up in a almost cult.
Yeah. No,
So I mean, I don't know. Did you grow up with a religion?
No,
neither did I.
my family were pretty science minded.
Well, I tried to do it on my own. Yeah. I went with this guy David that I knew, and then I was just like, how do I know all these stupid stories already? I'm like getting the answers right that none of the kids in the fucking class that go every week. I was just like, this seems like nonsense.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't seem real. And I was like 14 or 13. No, I was younger. I think I was like 11 or 12. And I was like, this just seems bullshit.
Well, yeah, it's like the Bible. It's like.
Are we getting into religion?
But it's basically like taking Grimm's fairy tales and trying to say that that's truth. That actually happened.
Look,
these things really happened.
If that would have been
Red Riding Hood was a real person.
If that would have been put into certain books, it would have been.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a reason why if you're born in a certain area, you cling to certain beliefs.
Yeah.
It's not coincidence.
No. It's mostly people are raised to believe one thing, and then they just keep raising their children to believe that thing.
It would be more coincidental if you were born in a place where it's nothing but Buddhist, and you happen to be Christian, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, that would be odd.
That would be different. But because if you're born in a place where it's nothing but Islam or Christianity, it's not surprising that you're Christian or into Islam.
Yeah. And obviously now with the internet and social media and stuff, now it's more likely for people to be able to have something like that happen. Someone growing up somewhere and then having a belief, getting a belief that they,
I'm just going to tell you, not in certain areas.
Well, obviously
they'll just kill you.
Yeah, well, yeah, no shit.
So,
but I'm just saying that the internet has made it possible for stuff
I think they're
things
supposed
like
to
that
stone
to
them
happen.
to death, though.
Yeah, or throw you off a building.
There's a lot of stoning to death. That's not the type of stone.
No.
That might actually be pleasant.
Yeah.
That'd
be a good way to go.
I'm not
At
going to
least
say
you'd
might
be
be
relaxed.
pleasant. That would be very pleasant.
Yeah.
So, it's fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been our religious minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Welcome to our sermon.
Yeah.
From our mount.
Pass the collection plate.
I was going to finish the whole going over to Jake's house, but it was hilarious because Jake thought we were all going to get drafted.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
there was a lot of
too.
people that thought that.
Remember, Jake's like, dude, we're fucking getting drafted. We're getting drafted. 100% we're getting drafted. He's like, I'm just going to go in there with the shirt with the target on it on the back and be like, this is how I'll be running away from this shit. I'm like, no, you're not.
My buddies and I wanted to get tattoos of the American flag on our shoulders.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
everyone got really patriotic when this happened.
We wanted to do that.
Everybody
drunk
did.
night, and there's like, let's sober up first before we make that decision.
I
That was a
kind of
good
felt
idea.
the same, just like, let's fucking destroy these people.
Oh, yeah, there was definitely.
know?
Well, I remember I was working at Pizza Hut at the time, and literally like 2 days later, we got an order in from an Osama El Alim.
And you were like, "Fuck this
I called
motherfucker."
I called the because we had a centralized customer service place that they called. They routed the orders
like
to
a
us.
call center.
I called the call center. It's like, are you guys fucking with me? What's going on with this? What's the name of this? And the lead's like, oh no, that's legitimate. And like, so you got someone named Osama coming into my store.
Tim just went straight to racism.
Yeah, well, I mean, literally, they said Osama bin Laden's behind this, and so literally someone named. Well, it's a pretty normal name for that.
It's a
for
very
that
common
faith.
name, yeah.
Actually, very common over there.
But yeah, it was kind of one of those things where everyone was on edge at my store. It's like, we got Osama coming in today. Osama's coming in to get a pizza today.
Were you also in
That
like?
was super fucking nice.
Were you also?
But I imagine he was scared shitless too with that
I'm
name.
sure he was.
Were
yeah,
you also
yeah.
in a place like I don't know that was pretty flat?
What do you mean?
Was this Wyoming?
No, this is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've lived here
Dude,
since
man, there was
92.
so much like.
No, I thought
I
maybe you
guess-
were in there. I was like,
There was
I'd be scared of anybody
Well-
named anything
No,
other
this
than
is-
Greg
I lived here.
or John.
Well, but at the time, people became very unsure and untrusting of Muslims.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, at the
that was terrible for their
Oh,
culture.
absolutely. A lot of them. there was
Even
a lot of
today.
I
I don't know if you look at a lot
Still
of
affects them.
if you look at a lot of polling that comes from those countries, it's look the religion has a lot of fucking terrible ideas.
Well, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'm just saying, there's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking places that still think that you should stone to death people not in the religion. You
yeah,
should
that's
stone fucking gay people
isn't
to
that
death.
called
Look how bad-
Sharia law?
Yeah,
Like,
but
Yeah,
the-
how bad
but the-
Afghanistan is now because
It's
they
terrible.
made the
Yeah.
rules so like
Well, the
women are
Taliban now
literally
owns-
scared to death to go outside. They can't even sing in their own homes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made so many crazy laws against women.
learning they can be put to death.
Yeah, and then they
That's-
interviewed a
that's
gal that got
Sharia
out of
law,
there. It's like,
baby.
yeah, I was afraid for my life all the time.
Yeah, I remember this was during the war in Afghanistan.
And what pisses me off is
Okay,
there's,
go ahead and talk over me.
there's
That's fine.
well, I wasn't finished with my thought, but you go ahead.
Waited 5 seconds. It's fine. Go ahead.
There was an individual, the girl that got out was talking about how scared she was because of all these new laws that, well, not loot, but religious-based laws, like you can only have a slit of your eyes covered or showing, or like obviously they said you can't sing while you're in your own home cooking or anything like that. So if you're in your home cooking as a woman, you can be stoned for that.
Yeah.
So as what upsets me about it is
That's harsh.
all the Americans now supporting that. You know what I mean? The support of Palestine, free Palestine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Muslim faith.
Uh-huh.
Like, these are individuals that want to kill you.
Yes.
That
Especially if you're
want you to be in a
LGBTQ.
burqa, and you're not allowed any religious freedoms, rights, or anything.
Yeah.
You are a person's possession, and you want to support that, and you want to go protest, for their freedoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's not quite the same though.
Isn't that
The
like
f- the
what do
faith,
you
the
call
Muslim
No,
faith?
no. But what I'm saying though,
Is that
it's
like
not quite the same. You've got Afghanistan, which is totally different than fucking Palestine.
But the
Well, yeah,
religious background is what I'm
The
talking
religious
about. They're not
background is
Muslims.
not necessarily quite the same. You've got Sunni, Shia,
Yeah,
that are
that's
the
true.
major versions of it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know which one's which. I don't know what Afghanistan is. If it's Sunni or Shia.
Well, it's the Taliban. So whatever the Taliban's faith, I mean, that's
Yeah.
their religious upbringing. Isn't that the purpose behind that whole women's laws and all that?
the Sharia law? Yeah.
Yeah.
Partially, but Palestine's doesn't have the same fucking law.
Oh, so they don't follow Sharia law.
Well,
It's not the same. You
Oh.
can't conflate the two. You can't go because Afghanistan is considered right now the worst place to be in the world to live.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not the same as Palestine.
Okay.
They're not. They don't have the same laws. They don't have the same things. Palestine's whole thing is like, fuck Israel. That's their whole
Oh,
being.
so they don't have the religious background like the Muslim
They
background.
still have.
no,
the-
they still have
that.
it.
You're like I said, you're
but-
completely conflating two things.
Oh.
yeah, it
They're
gets,
not
it,
the same place.
Yeah,
If they were the
it's-
same
Oh,
place,
I know, but I
could
thought they were the
understand.
same faith.
It could be the same faith, but it's the same
but
thing as
there's
saying that
variations and things
this
like
fucking
that. Yeah.
Protestant over here and this Quaker over here are the same. They're not. They have the same faith. They don't have the same beliefs and rules.
It's like different denominations.
You got to
of
understand
Muslim,
that.
You know?
It's Islam is not one fucking thing.
Oh.
It's the same thing as Christianity. It's not one
Yeah.
thing.
You know, you
Well, I
you're
love
like
them all together. Like
Yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
Christianity.
but you know, you got your
It's
Seventh
fine,
Day
but they're not the
Adventists, and
same.
you've got your, your fucking.
I know
others.
people. I know people that will tell you that Catholics are not Christians. They are not Christian, even though the Catholics are the ones that fucking put together the goddamn New Testament in 200 AD.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that did it. They're the ones that put it together, but they're not Christians.
Huh.
So I know people that will 100% tell you that. And I know people that will tell you that they're the only real version of Christianity.
Catholicism?
No.
Or
No, just
Christianity?
their version of it is the
Well,
only
yeah,
real
every
version.
Christian will say that about their
But that's
faith.
what I'm saying is it's the same thing with Islam. There's a lot of you have the main culprits of Sunni and
So women's
Shia.
rights are a lot better in Palestine than they would be in
I would say
in
they're probably
Afghanistan.
I'd say they're probably a lot better. Yes,
Probably.
they're
but
still not great, but
They're
they're
not
a lot-
American.
They're a lot.
No.
But if you're gonna equate them, they are apples and oranges.
Yeah.
They're not the same. They're not.
They're still fruit.
Yes,
but
they're
they-
still fruits.
Yeah.
Just
But
not-
they don't allow fruits.
Well,
is what I will tell you.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Queers for Palestine as well.
They-
That's-
they-
that's
That
one
one is actually very
If you're a
laughable.
fruit, you
They-
get stoned to death.
you would think Queers for Palestine would have been a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that wouldn't happen, but it did.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's save those people. I'm like, okay, go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Save
go
them.
over there and
Save
save
'em.
them.
I guarantee you, you're not gonna find one person with purple hair.
and they don't want to be saved by you. You'll find that out real fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
well, yeah,
but again, we
there-
gotta have something to complain about.
there
I
were
suppose.
plenty of times in any of the wars or any of the Middle East and stuff where they just captured any foreigner.
Yeah,
Any foreigner. It didn't matter if they were over there handing out food to people. They
Yeah,
didn't care.
There was that one American gal that got murdered
There's a lot of
recently.
there's a lot-
She at a
was it
protest.
recently?
Yeah,
Oh.
in Palestine. She was actually in Palestine protesting
That's a good idea.
and got killed.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
And Israel, it's like that wasn't us. And Palestine, it wasn't us.
No, of course. I mean,
America's like, which
nobody-
one of you fucking did it?
Nobody's
Yeah.
going to admit to,
Yeah.
Well,
to doing
this-
that.
Israel's like, we'll look into it.
this almost
Yeah,
reminds me
right.
of remember that Christian missionary that decided it was a good idea to go to the island that it was off limits.
Oh,
to
yeah, with all the
everybody.
tribal folks.
They didn't eat
Yeah.
him. They
No,
just fucking.
He got
they-
shot full of arrows.
Yes, full of
Yeah.
arrows. Like he gets on the shore and they just come up and just boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
done.
He didn't last, like, very long
It,
at all.
it literally, I think it was literally within minutes.
Yeah, because they shoot, like, arrows at planes and
Yes.
fucking boats
Yeah.
and shit like that,
Yeah,
too.
there's plenty of photos.
Well, they're just
from-
trying to bring
Yeah.
Christ's word, you know,
Yep.
that's all.
It didn't work.
He died a martyr.
They didn't want Christ's word.
There's plenty of photos of people like taking like a helicopter near the place where they've got a photo of a guy with a fucking bow and
yeah,
arrow
so they're
just
pointing at
him.
it. Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's like
come down
It's-
here. Come down
it's
here, I
bizarre
dare
to
you.
think that still exists to this day.
well,
Yeah.
it still exists in the Amazon.
It does.
That's wild.
You know,
That is wild.
There's still
They got t-shirts,
uncontacted
though.
tribes.
no, not that place.
You don't
that
think
place,
they got
no,
T-shirts
No.
and
That
sandals
place-
or
no.
something like that?
that place has been off
No.
limits for
Yeah.
how many years? Because I think
long
they've
time.
literally killed every single person that's
Yeah,
gone on the
yeah.
island.
There's other uncontacted tribes and undiscovered tribes out there.
Yeah.
No fucking
well,
way.
yeah, 'cause
That's
they-
such an odd thought.
They recently think, and I don't know if this was a hoax or not, but I've seen things where they said that they recently believed that they may have found that pygmy tribe. The fucking
Oh, really?
You know, remember how
Yeah, yeah.
they'd recently found out that there was a tribe of humans at
Yeah.
one point that were just extremely short, like
Mhm.
like 4 foot tall was like the tall ones.
Hobbits.
Yeah, they essentially I think
Yeah.
they gave them that nickname.
Yeah.
And I think recently somebody reported that it's possible that they may have found them,
Wow.
which is crazy. That there would be this fucking like just little tiny tribe out there, got like
Aw.
little miniature ponies running around.
The Lollipop Guild.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. We are
It's-
the lollipop kids.
It's like they're all the Indian in the cupboard, just running around. Lock up a little
Fucking
cowboy to fight him
giants
off.
show up on your land.
You're
That'd
like,
be fucking
what the fuck is this? It looks kind of like me, but big.
peck.
I know. I get
Oh,
on the
yeah.
island. I'm like, holy shit, I'm fucking monstrous.
Or dakinis. I think that's what they
Yeah,
call the
that's
big
what it
guys.
was. Yeah.
What was that from?
Willow.
Willow.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that in forever.
There's a reference.
Peck.
I do remember that name though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
not
I
a
should.
peck.
I should watch. I should watch Willow again because I remember that being pretty damn good.
The movie was great.
I
yeah.
heard the show
The
sucked.
show is garbage.
Was woke.
Yeah, and it was
It was-
canceled like after one season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of cancel, I know we.
It's
I know
miserable.
we have 1,000 things to get to, but did you see what happened with Concord?
Oh yeah, it shut
You
down
know what-
after
you
2
know what
weeks.
The
Concord
grape
is?
jelly place?
No, Concord.
The video
so,
game.
So PlayStation has been working on this game for like 6 years, something like that.
I think it was 8.
It might have been, but
Yeah.
6 years is still a long time. But okay, fine, 8.
Yeah, I think I read it
But
was 8 years.
Let's just say between 6 and 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and between 6 and 8 years working on this game, canceled it and shut down all the servers within 2 weeks.
2 weeks of its release.
Because I don't know, bring up just any one of the character
it was so
designs.
miserably reviewed.
Miserably reviewed, and they went with, instead of fucking trying to make a good game, they went with DEI throughout the whole thing.
That's unfortunate.
Right?
I think
Like
I
their
heard something
character
about
design
this,
was
yeah.
absolute fucking
Yeah,
trash.
choose your pronouns and
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like one of the it's like this giant fat lesbian chick, like supposed to be in all fucking like military, like that one right there. Like look at all these fucking people. Like you can do it too. But I mean, so Call of Duty I think's doing that too now with like somebody in a wheelchair. So
no way.
it's like,
What are you?
and the thing is, like, here's my question: what guy in a wheelchair or girl in a wheelchair is going, I want to play a game where I'm in a wheelchair? No, you want to play a game to escape that. I play games to escape real life.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people basically
I mean, look at this
clowning
shit.
on that.
This
Look
is
at that.
that's supposed to be.
That looks
your,
like Overwatch.
That's supposed to be your
It's
fucking
basically
hero.
a ripoff of Overwatch.
I think that's actually
Yeah.
what they were doing.
Yeah.
Is they were like, oh, Overwatch is cool.
It's a
Overwatch
woke
DEI,
Overwatch.
huh?
Yeah.
Except this one's called Overweight.
Yeah. And the but I mean, yeah, the characters are absolutely
Yeah,
garbage.
it's
Their
just
name is
trash
Da.
design.
Look at this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Just like,
Are
this
we
is supposed
Are
to
we
be
showing
your
that
hero.
on the screen? Okay,
Yeah.
This
Look
is
at that.
supposed to be your hero. No, he's finally getting it down to where he pulls it up first and then fucking brings it up.
Yeah.
It's actually working. Good job, Kevin.
You're welcome.
It's the one time you're getting a compliment.
Look at this.
I mean, that's
Done.
So fucking terrible.
It's just
allow-
terrible design.
it doesn't bother me all that
No, but they
much.
designed
Have
all
It's
of them
just
like this.
So stupid.
They designed all of them like this. Instead, look, I'm sorry. Like, look, I'm more into the military, like tactical shooters. I don't want to get into a game where I got a lot of fucking weird bullshit.
It's character design. I mean, you can.
It's bad.
As long as you can pick
bad.
out your own character design, so be it. I mean, who cares what you
No,
build?
actually, you know what?
Honestly, who cares about that?
You wanna know where I say that you're right on that? If they would have just made it to where you could just design your own character.
Oh,
in
that's not what
any
this
way-
is?
No, these are the characters
No,
they
these are
designed.
the-
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought someone.
No.
Oh.
No. If that's what this was.
Yeah, I thought that was a character
no.
design that someone
These
made.
are their characters that you can pick from.
Oh.
This is bad. Now, if you made your own character like this, like Elden Ring, I don't give a shit. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's what
Make whatever the
I was
fuck
under
you
the
want.
impression that that's what it was, but
You know, if
Nope.
if you're the one with the
this
choice,
is the star. These are the.
yeah, these are probably the
starring
most normal
characters.
looking ones out of them, and they're still bad. These are just
Yeah.
bad designs. It's one of the reasons why I
it's
didn't
pretty
play.
unique. Though
Nah,
that robot
I-
individual looks pretty cool.
I think it all looks
It's
bad.
a gay robot.
I think it all looks bad.
We all know that's a gay
It's the same
robot.
thing. It's the reason why I didn't play. Fuck, what was the
Why?
name of that
Because he's
game?
wearing pink.
Team
Yes.
It's the reason I didn't play Team Fortress. I hated the design of all the characters.
Oh, because they're cartoony.
Cartoony, and the fact that like an engineer is dressed as an engineer.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I get that.
what? You know, like he's got fucking like.
But
a-
that
a
was
hard hat on.
also-
It
So
was
literally,
dumb. I
they
hated
canceled
it.
this game because people didn't like the characters.
Well, it wasn't
That-
just the
no,
characters.
it was
Like,
everything.
It was
Everything about it.
The story,
The-
the writing,
the,
all of it.
The pay to play essentially on
Oh,
top of
that
it.
yeah, that'll dismiss it really quick. Pay to play.
Well, it's the live service playing of it. You know, the live service, and people
Yeah.
have finally started getting so upset with live service that there's been numerous articles now after this has collapsed, talking about how maybe live service is not the way we should.
Yeah,
be
you
doing
can't
this
play
anymore.
unless it's online.
Yeah,
it's online,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
ridiculous. I've always had a problem with that. It
I
was-
hate that.
Yeah, I want to play
I've
a
always
campaign,
hated
or
it.
I
Well,
don't have to be online
that's-
to play
yeah.
a game. That's stupid.
That's
I-
what.
It only took fucking 10 some odd years for people to finally start
Well,
getting sick of this
Remember,
shit.
that's what
Jesus.
Ubisoft was saying. I think it was last year that in the future all their games will be live service.
Yeah, and that's
it's fucking terrible.
stupid.
Why?
Oh, by the way,
Like, yeah.
Because
Ubisoft.
you can't own anything anymore,
Yeah.
Tim. You'll rent it and you'll love it.
Yeah.
that's
just
a
like
good
Klaus
point.
Schwab said.
And by the way, Ubisoft right now is taking a giant hit to their stocks. They're having to let go a bunch of employees
Because they've made terrible
because,
decisions.
Yeah, they make
Was
terrible
it because of
decisions,
that
and
last
their games
Star Wars
have
game?
been garbage. Yes, that. Well, not
It
just
was
that, but
horseshit.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, that game is not performing well.
It's
It's not
awful.
selling, and
I stopped. I had
also,
to stop. I paid $120 for that
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and I'm not playing it.
Yeah,
That's
and also
infuriating,
people are
isn't it?
pissed off about the new Assassin's Creed that's coming.
Oh no, they didn't.
yeah.
They didn't destroy that too. Did
Oh
they?
yeah, and that's the one that's supposed to take place in Japan with
So-
like samurais and stuff.
So one of the things that people were
That's
getting
not-
pissed
Ubisoft
off about
is
is
they
that they put Yasuke in it,
yes,
who is a real character from history.
yes, he is.
It's been
he was
very,
real.
very debated on whether or not he was an actual samurai. He
Yeah.
was supposed to be a weapons. What is it
Well,
called?
no, he was
weapons bearer.
Yeah, he was and he was basically
So it's
Nobunaga Oda's one of his servants or
Yeah,
something.
it's a weapons
yeah.
bearer is
Right,
what he was.
yeah.
He was the guy that would carry the weapons
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that.
And but yeah, there's
so he-
no actual evidence he was a samurai.
So he was a slave brought from Africa that was a slave to the Jesuits, I believe.
It probably because
And-
they came to Japan.
Yeah, and they went to Japan. They lent him to this master.
Nobunaga.
And then I think within 2 years they ended up taking him back. So he was only there for 2 years, and everybody's been and people are saying that you're racist if you don't want him as that he was a real samurai. It's like
Well,
there are plenty of samurais in history
And-
from fucking Japan.
Yes. But also
Like Afro Ninja?
Well, no,
That's what he was.
He was based. The Afro Ninja was based off that guy, basically, pretty much.
And look, Japan loves this character.
Yeah. Well, actually, and the thing is, though,
You know, I don't know if they love it for this
well, hey,
game,
the-
but there's a lot of lore for this character that they've
Right.
made up since.
Yeah, and the thing is, it turns out that the guy, the historian, quote unquote, who claimed that Yasuke was a samurai, basically all the information that points to him possibly being a samurai comes from this one guy who is the only source. And apparently the Japanese say there's no actual historical evidence that this guy was actually a
wasn't all
samurai.
the records destroyed
So basically
at
this one
point,
guy
though?
made this
They
shit up.
ended up finding the paper that he wrote it on that had shit on it because he pulled it from his ass.
Right, exactly. But apparently, it all comes from this one guy, and he's an American historian. And the thing is, he's
And a Marxist.
but like the Japanese historians and stuff say, yeah, Yasuke was not a samurai. There's no evidence of that at all.
I mean, look, there are plenty of Japanese like anime type stuff and comics and stuff with Yasuke as a samurai.
Yes.
And that's fine. I don't have the problem I would have with it is if I'm going to like feudal Japan
Yeah.
to be a samurai, I want to be
I want to be a Japanese guy. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It's one of the reasons why I love Ghost of Tsushima so much.
Yeah.
I'm
fucking
fighting
A.
the fucking Mongolians as a Japanese samurai. I love that. It's
Yeah.
a great fucking game for it.
And I always wanted an Assassin's Creed set in feudal
everyone
Japan.
did.
Yeah.
Everyone did.
I always thought that was the one they should have fucking
Well, yeah,
done a long
wasn't
time
that
ago.
recent one though supposed to be based off of that you like so much?
What?
That samurai.
There is a Shogun, or no?
Oh, Shogun, the show.
no.
Yeah.
You
I
played
have
this
the
one a
book, too.
lot.
It's really
You
good.
liked it a lot.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of
Yeah,
Tsushima.
that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, that
Ghost.
was,
I loved Ghost of
Yeah.
Tsushima. I hope they make
I heard
another
a lot
one.
of good things about it.
So if you play it on the highest difficulty setting, it's kind of like Elden Ring in a sense. Right?
Okay.
The bad part, the thing that's not like Elden Ring, like you can die in one hit, but you can kill in one hit too, right? So they make it as realistic as possible, and it's fucking insanely hard.
That's cool.
And that's
But-
pretty much what it was like in those samurai duels with the katanas.
You think so?
Once, oh yeah, no, that's how it was.
Yeah, one slice.
One
yeah, you could
fucking
be-
yeah.
No shit,
Well,
huh?
it was like quick draw.
Tim, did you know that if you got chopped in the head, you could die?
No,
No,
what
it
I'm
takes
sa-
several
what, no,
hits, and then you could reach in.
No,
and then if you throw a flashbang at him,
I'm and hit him in the fucking head with that flashbang. No, but I'm referring to like in like European sword fighting stuff. They actually like will sword fight and things like that. And
Yeah, no,
Japanese,
they
they
would-
did not do that. It
they
was
would sometimes straight from the
straight
fucking
from it was like quick draw basically. One slice, fight's over.
No,
Don't fucking hit
I
me.
believe it.
Fucking
No, I'm
cocksucker.
not saying
Yeah.
that, but yeah, I was.
he was making fun of the obviously, Kevin.
I get that.
our
I
Captain
understand
Obvious
what it was.
host over here.
I understand what it was. But yeah, look, there was very little actual
a
sword
little late
fighting.
for that, but
there,
that works.
but in Japanese combat, there was very little actual sword fighting when it came to these like duels and stuff.
I
Well,
see.
Movies make it.
I was
look
gonna
like
say,
that, but-
speaking of like talking about like, there was a fuck up in a movie that created the whole fucking super blood that they have in all the Japanese movies.
Yeah, it was a screw up with the
But what movie was that from?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't
It was
know.
an
Have you ever
old
seen
one.
that scene?
We talked about it.
Yeah,
How
it's-
someone's head got chopped off and it just
No,
geysered.
it wasn't a head. The guy pulled, did the thing that Kevin was talking
Yeah.
about, and one slice, and the blood packet got fucked up, and they overpressurized it, so he was just like gushing. And I mean,
Yeah.
like,
and they ended up
like
keeping it in there because
it was like the blood in the hallways at fucking the Overlook Hotel. It was like that type of fucking amount of blood.
And now that created that whole thing.
It created a whole genre because of one fuck up.
yeah, like movies, anime. Now when a guy gets sliced with a katana or whatever, it's
it's the whole reason. Nice. It's the whole. I know it's not quite the same hotel, but it's close enough.
Yeah. Close enough.
It's the whole reason Quentin Tarantino did it.
Yeah.
Is because of
that's
that.
what he had talked about.
Yeah.
Tarantino picked that up as well.
And
That's where he got it.
I want to say it was a Akira Kurosawa film, but I don't know for sure. It was an older samurai film.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, like 50s, 60s.
See, I never got into the samurai films.
Oh,
I
they're
think
so good.
because when I was a kid, it was like Bruce Lee films.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I
all of
love
them.
those.
No
too,
Retreat, No Surrender, and
Hey, that
The
was
Last
great.
Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
Last
that's
Dragon.
fucking
Hell
great.
yeah.
Show enough.
Him killing fucking Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Was it Chuck Norris?
Yeah, he kills Chuck Norris.
So
I don't know if it's in The Last Dragon, but it's in one of the movies.
No, he in No Retreat, No Surrender. It was. It was his first appearance as a martial art actor. Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was his first movie. He was the bad guy in it.
I was gonna. He kills Chuck Norris though, in
And-
one of the movies.
Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't
100%.
Last Dragon.
And I-
Chuck Norris
no.
isn't in it.
no, Chuck Norris is in the. I think it's Way of the Dragon.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
think
you're
that's the
talking
one.
of Bruce Lee movies.
Bruce Lee.
No,
The
I
one
was
where
talking
Bruce Lee
about-
and Chuck Norris
Wait,
fight.
who are you talking about?
Oh, there was two movies that I remember as a kid that was.
Oh, that were you. The
Yeah,
ones
The
that you were
Last
into?
Dragon is a black martial artist in the Bronx,
Okay,
and
I
he
haven't
fights
seen-
a guy named Shogun.
It's too close to the goddamn Bruce Lee name.
And then there's another one called No Retreat, No Surrender, where he's trained by Bruce Lee's ghosts.
What
Ghost.
the fuck?
Oh, it's a terrible movie. The audio of it's shot. And again, it was
Yeah.
the first movie, the first appearance of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Way of the
Well,
Dragon.
do you wanna
Here's-
know where-
There's the scene right there.
Do you want to
between-
actually know where Jean-Claude
Chuck
Van
Norris
Damme's
and
very
Bruce Lee.
first appearance actually is? And then they cut him.
Huh.
Predator.
Oh, this was before Predator.
Was it?
Yeah, look up No Retreat, No Surrender.
Oh yeah, it was before Predator.
Yeah, it was
No
his-
Retreat,
it was
No
his
Surrender.
first screen
That's
appearance.
his first
Really?
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He plays the bad
Because
guy.
he was. I know that he was in.
He does the splits in it too, and it
Yep.
was like, holy
Yep.
shit, this guy's
Yep.
a fucking badass.
See, he was originally supposed to be the Predator in Predator.
He was.
and then they fired him.
Yep.
I believe it.
I don't know why they fired him though.
I don't know.
This was like a B-rate movie when I
yeah.
watched, but it was a yeah.
Oh,
Right,
86,
came right up.
Okay, so it was literally the next year.
This
Yeah.
was our
I think it was,
family.
what,
yeah.
87?
And it's a great fucking movie, man.
87 or
It's-
88
it
with the
is-
Predator.
No Retreats, No Surrenders. Great. It's.
I don't know that I've seen that
It's
one.
totally cheesy, but the music, the '80s music in it is
Yeah.
awesome. And the kid is like obsessed with Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
and like even has an imaginary Bruce Lee train him.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The ghost of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, the
trained
ghost
him
of
how
Bruce
to-
Lee. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the reviews on it on our IMDb. It's 5.6 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
it was
That's
was
just barely failing.
delightfully bad.
Yeah.
Let's
no,
just say that.
it's a fun
Look,
movie.
No,
It's a
look,
fun
Rotten
movie.
Tomatoes, 80% for fucking the audience score.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way that's critics.
Because
No way.
that's audience score.
Yeah,
but
it's
you know,
a pretty good flick.
it's a
when I was
fucking
kid.
fun movie.
Well, I doubt there's any fighting movie that has a critic score above like 60. And I think 60
probably
would
not.
be absolutely
Yeah.
crazy on
Critics
its own.
don't tend to like.
No, they don't like
movies
comedies.
like this.
They don't like fighting movies.
As I remember it, I think this character here was also Dirk Diggler's. One of Dirk Diggler, the actor Marky Mark, wanted that kind of look as well. The hairstyle and the design of the whole
It does
martial
kind of
arts
look
thing.
like it.
Yeah, he loosely based that character he was supposed to act as from this character here.
Dude, he is a fucking
Really?
maniac.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a good flick again. And the other one was, like I said, the Last Dragon, and that had the
See,
Candyman was the
Tony Todd.
yeah.
Yeah, I
He
love
was the
Tony
bad guy
Todd,
in
man.
that.
That
Dude,
guy was awesome.
I didn't realize that guy when he did Candyman. They offered him $1,000 per bee sting.
Did
do
they
you mean?
really?
When the bees came out of his
Yeah.
mouth,
Oh wow.
he got $1,000 per sting.
Oh shit, he
Fuck.
actually
on top
had real
of it.
bees in his
yeah,
mouth.
Yeah,
I'd never
100%.
seen the movie, so I didn't
Well,
know.
hey, I mean
just
that
knew-
was before like CGI was
Yes.
really
$1,000
you know.
per bee sting.
Ooh-wee.
So I don't know how much he ended up making on top of his regular pay.
Gotta respect
yeah, but that
that,
could
man.
kill him
Fucking-
though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
They're like 1,000 bee stings. You
Yeah.
get
He was covered in those fucking things.
$1 million
He had them in his
for
mouth,
this.
like he had them all over
Yeah.
him in that
oh
movie.
my goodness, that
And they
sounds
were
terrible.
real.
Yeah, it's a great movie too. I love Candyman.
I haven't seen it in forever. And the thing is, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
Again, we
really? Oh,
We
it's
don't
so-
have
it's a
anything
great
like
movie.
that today. It's
No,
all-
we
No,
don't. We
it's-
don't. And
No,
I saw
we
that.
get
I saw the
terrible
the remake of Candy. There's a new one that came out. It sucked, man.
Oh, that's terrible.
And the only time the real Tony Todd shows up as Candyman is at the very end for 2 seconds. They have some new Candyman. And he fucking
Well, they
sucks.
did the same thing with Hellboy.
Yeah.
Oh
they
yeah,
made the
with
new
that.
Hellboy.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't see it, but
'cause
I heard it
fucking,
wasn't very good.
What's his name? It
Ron
was great.
Perlman.
Yeah, Ron
Yeah.
Ron Perlman is
actually-
Hellboy.
He was
you know?
Hellboy.
You
He
don't
was
make
awesome
another
as
Hellboy.
He was
No.
so fucking good at that.
That's what I mean. That was his character. Just
Yeah.
like, Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
There's not going to be other. And then
Well, and
Blade is still
yeah.
Wesley Snipes.
And they're talking about now, I guess, him coming to the MCU as Blade from now on.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
There ain't what was the thing Wesley Snipes said, which was so awesome in that movie. He's like, "There's only one Blade. There's only gonna ever be one Blade."
Reynolds is right at the fucking.
and then
camera.
Reynolds,
Just
he
stares.
fucking just
Yeah.
like, It's such a great scene.
That is.
I
the
can't
one
wait
thing
for that to come out on
Oh,
digital.
so you can watch
Yeah.
it over
I
and
will
over
watch
and
that
over.
over
I
and
will.
over.
too.
I
It was a
loved it.
great movie.
It
I
was a lot
loved
of
it.
fun.
I'll
I loved
immediately
it.
look. I'll buy it on Blu-ray because I like having a collection
Physical
of movies.
disc?
Yep,
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm a physical media fucking kind of guy.
You're just copying me.
No,
No, that's
dude,
fine.
That's
Whatever,
the only
Kevin.
way you can actually
Look,
own something.
Kevin,
you
it's
know?
actually that's
I'm
not
that way
true.
with games.
It's not true.
Well,
They even
unless-
have laws
not
against
with
that.
video games. No, I'm saying
No,
with movies.
They
and stuff
even have
now.
laws against that.
What are you
so,
talking about? Once you have the physical disc, they can't
I
take it
kn-
away from you.
It's not 100% true. There's been weird cases.
Give
just
me
trust
one.
Trust me, bro.
Let's hear one.
No, I
Shane.
mean video games. I get because you got to download it, but a movie disc, the movie's on the disc.
I understand that. There have been cases about things that people have done with their movies. They're supposed to be legally theirs that they actually got fucked over on.
That's weird.
I know.
understand how
That,
works. Unless you illegally copy and sell it or something.
that
like
well,
that.
that's always been kind of a thing.
Yeah,
That's
that's what that FBI warning is.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning of
That
shit, you know?
everyone just records right past.
Right, exactly.
You're like,
yeah.
I recorded the warning
right?
onto my
yeah,
new
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it's everyone.
On my
yeah.
boot- bootleg.
We all.
My
Well, that's
bootleg,
the thing.
yeah.
We all fucking did it when we were younger. We all. I remember.
I bootleg the shit out of stuff.
Monster Squad. I had a
Oh,
bootleg
yeah, that
copy
was
of that.
Great movie. Hell yeah.
Because I loved that movie and I watched it 500
Yeah,
times.
it's a good movie.
I watched that 500 times. The Labyrinth 500
yeah.
times.
Yeah, you got to watch that one religiously. That one's a good one.
It's a great fuck. It still actually holds up, which is
Yeah,
cool.
and I was thinking about that the other day. Is the movies where the Queen and the Flash Gordon
Oh, Flash.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Queen wrote the
80s
entire
80s
fucking
yes,
Yeah.
that's
soundtrack
that's a
for that,
Fucking awesome
and just like
one.
Bowie did the entire soundtrack for Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic,
We don't-
iconic movies.
Yeah, and we don't have shit like
we
that
don't have that
anymore.
anymore.
No.
We're a fan.
No, instead
well,
we-
it'd be Taylor Swift.
I was gonna say instead
Ah.
we get,
You know what I mean?
instead
Oh,
we
God,
get
yeah.
Taylor Swift putting out a concert and you're
About
like,
herself.
Cool.
You know?
That's great.
Exactly. But no, Labyrinth and Flash Gordon, dude, those
Amazing soundtracks.
amazing. Oh wait,
Yeah.
Queen also did the soundtrack to Highlander, the first Highlander movie.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
I
great too.
remember.
Exactly.
I remember my dad loved the Highlander movies.
Dude, the
well,
fu-
they
oh,
also
they
had
were
the
great.
show, right?
Yeah.
There's the show too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He loved
Duncan
the show.
MacLeod.
Duncan
was in the
MacLeod
show.
of the Clan
He
MacLeod.
loved the show. He watched that constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
And then
watched it, too.
anytime
I did
any of the
too.
Highlander movies came out, he was like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
had to. Sean
Yeah.
Connery was in the first one. I don't think it was
Ramirez,
in the-
yeah. He was
It's
in the
been
second
so
one
long.
too.
Was he in the
Yeah,
second one?
Yeah.
And it was
Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
He was the lead on
Yeah.
that.
Raiden.
The third
Connor
one is
McLeod.
when
yes, Raiden.
The
yeah.
third one is when Duncan came in, isn't it? Or was
no,
that the second one?
No, he was in the show. And
No, he actually
he
had
did
an-
co-
yeah, he
come
came in with the
He was
movies.
in the fourth movie, I
Yeah.
think, fourth or fifth, and
That's when he passed the torch, basically.
basically, yeah.
Christopher Lambert. Did.
And
What the fuck is that?
I
one
love
movie?
that show. Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that
great.
shit
Yeah, it was
too,
a
man.
good series.
dude, Highlander.
They don't have that. You know what they'll do is they'll destroy
They'll
that.
fucking remake it and
Yeah.
ruin
they'll-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll 100%.
Before
Yeah.
Sean Connery goes, he'll make an appearance.
Sean Connery's already dead.
Oh yeah, he is dead.
Oh, then
Been
I guess
dead
we don't
for
worry about
5
that.
years.
I didn't know that.
Because look,
Because he lived in a castle in Scotland.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah.
When you're Sean fucking
Fucking
Connery.
And he was
Connery,
like,
yeah.
he died because he was like, wait, you can't hit women? And then he was like, I'm out of here.
You mean nobody wants to watch my new show, Lady Slap?
That's a.
That was a weird one.
You gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
Yeah, he was not going to be ready for that one at all. He'd have been like,
that's
what?
Yeah.
Listen, bitch.
She hear him handling that.
Dude.
The fuck did she say?
No, I was trying to think of. There's a movie that I remember also from that time frame. The ending scene is the two guys sword fighting, which was the ending scene for any of those movies from that era type thing. And the guy ends up, as he's losing, grabs the fucking sword, and the guy is just fucking bleeding like crazy, and finally pulls his and stabs the guy. And it's like a Scottish clan type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that from that time? It's like early 90s, late 80s.
Lady Bird?
Grabs.
I
Oh,
don't-
Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk?
Was
I
it
don't
Lady
think
Hawk?
So.
With
Rutger Hauer and
yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Not
Yeah.
McConaughey.
I mean,
No.
not McConaughey. Matthew Broderick.
Broderick.
And
yeah.
then it also had Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
See, I don't know that that's it. Let's
That
see.
was a good one, dude.
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer.
He was awesome.
He had some great movies.
Well,
Like
of
that
course,
one
yeah,
when he was
man.
blind,
Rutger
blind as a
Hauer's the
Martian.
first
Blind
guy.
Fury.
Yeah, Blind
Yes.
Fury.
First guy
Awesome.
that pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer is great, man. He died a couple years ago too.
He did that that bum one recently.
Yeah, Hobo with a Shotgun.
Hobo with
yeah,
a shotgun.
that movie's insane,
was
dude.
beautiful.
It's
No,
a
it's-
fucking
it's-
great movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely not that movie.
You and I are going to
Uh-huh.
a cab ride to hell.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're
I fucking
riding
love it.
shotgun.
Yeah.
You know what? I
And
think
it's so bloody and shit.
Yeah.
Just insane.
That's
I think-
gratuitous.
Yeah.
I think that the movie I'm
Love
talking
Rutger
about.
Hauer, man.
I think the movie I'm talking about has the same bad guy as Patriot with fucking
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. I think it's the same guy that's the bad guy.
Jason Isaacs is the bad guy in The
Okay.
Patriot.
Thank you
Look
for
up
knowing
Jason
that.
Isaacs.
All right.
Either that or it's a guy that looks just like him, which
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Jason Isaacs is also in movies like Event Horizon.
I swear he's
bunch
the
of
one
other
that's the
stuff.
bad guy in it. What fucking movie was that?
Oh, was he? Did he play Captain Hook in some? Was that the
Looks
Jason Isaacs
like it,
one?
yeah. He's in Peter Pan, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, I think he was in like one of the newer ones, right?
It was also Harry Potter. He
Wait,
was.
he's
he
in
was,
Fury?
I think he might have been in that.
I didn't realize he's in
He
Fury.
was one of the generals or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
been in a ton of movies and stuff. You know?
Again, one of those actors that you just barely remember their name, but
yeah,
you know their face.
but you
whenever-
know his face
Yeah.
exactly.
I hate how when you look up the fucking movies, just like on the regular shit, it doesn't show them in order of year.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they always come up.
You have
all
to go into
randomly.
IMDb just to get to
Yeah.
fucking do that. So
Um,
dumb.
God,
You know, not to get off too far off topic, because I know we're talking about movies. Something just kind of stuck in my mind when you were bringing that up.
Yeah.
Is how information's suppressed on the internet, especially with Google and all that.
Oh, there's a lot of it.
I mean, concerning the debate that happened last night
yeah,
about how Kamala said we're not going to take your guns. No one's going to
Oh,
take
yeah.
your guns.
yeah.
And
though she
I
said it
vividly
numerous
remember
times.
saying there'll be a mandatory buyback.
Yep, she said that recently.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
couldn't find that on the internet.
And then she even
On
said
Google, I couldn't find that.
She flip flops so
she
much.
even said during the debate that she had with Biden that Biden said something like we would have to go through and get Congress to do this and that, and she's like, well, no, you wouldn't. We just go in and just do it. I don't know why they haven't just done it.
Yeah.
We'll take everything. We'll take the guns. And Biden just looks up and goes, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not legal.
Yeah, there's a constitution protecting
So
that.
she's got plenty of times where she said, yes, I will take the
Well,
guns.
But that's the
And-
thing is I couldn't find on Google search.
Because I'm sure they scrubbed everything.
Yeah,
that
they
she's changed her
pulled all.
mind
I
on.
mean,
Yeah.
there was a couple articles a while back about how she had reversed her approach to that.
Yeah, I
but
believe
nothing saying that she actually said or did that.
wow,
It's
you-
bizarre how they suppress a lot of that
Yeah.
for her benefit.
Absolutely, and
And-
well, hey, I mean, the debate moderators were helping her out.
Oh,
you know, like,
there was no pushback on any of her. There was
nothing
no
that she
fact
said,
checking,
even
on
though she lied so much.
Yeah, they didn't fact check one thing that she had said.
No, but
Not
they
one.
went after Trump like
Yeah, he wasn't debating
Austin.
her. He was debating
all three of them.
CBS.
Yeah, yeah,
and that
it was
was
crazy.
really frustrating for that
Yeah.
because they backed him into a corner,
They
and I
did.
don't think he really responded well with it.
No, you could tell he was getting irritable.
Yeah.
you know, like angry.
He was
about
being
it, and-
respectful, but at the same
Yeah.
time, at least to the moderators, he was
Yeah.
thanking them for the question and being as
Mhm.
professional as he could. But he was under attack the whole time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, Kamala Harris lied so much last night. I was, there's certain things she said that I know for a fact those things have been debunked. Like the fine people on both sides,
Yeah,
bullshit.
and
the
he had an
bloodbath
opportunity to
thing and
complete
all
that, and he
That's all
didn't.
bullshit.
Well,
know what I
right
mean?
when that was
Mhm.
said, so I was put it on because I got Sirius XM for
Thank you,
satellite.
fellas.
I ended up putting it on, and that was the part where it came
You're welcome,
in
Mr.
on,
President.
right? It came in on that part, and I was just like, all those things that she said, I've actually seen the
It's all
fucking
fake news.
the
It's
the
phony
actual
stuff.
articles
happen.
that came out that said yes, these things were wrong, and
Right.
I've even seen other places
Snopes.
where. Well,
Back
I was
Even
gonna say, I was gonna
Snopes,
say,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I've also seen other places where in real time they would say, no, these things are wrong.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the things that I think CNN, which is crazy, they did that during their because I think they're the ones that had the debate between Biden and Trump.
Was it
was it
the
was it
last one they
CNN?
just did?
It
or
was
the one?
CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
CNN.
even CNN, when Biden would say something like that or Trump would say something like that, they would in real time say no, that's not true.
Right.
I don't know why ABC couldn't fucking
I
do
know.
that.
CNN actually did a
Well, we all
fucking
know why
more-
they
a
couldn't.
better
but what
job.
I'm saying though is CNN seems like even more left than ABC.
Yeah.
But they actually
They wanna
handled
be
the
in the good
debate not
graces
so
of,
bad. You know, they
yeah.
did a
Fucking
decent job.
crazy.
Well, and another thing, man, like, you know, she was like, he said, "I'm not going to do an abortion ban. I'm not going to get rid of what was it, IVF or whatever."
Yeah.
And then literally a second
but-
later, she goes, "He's going to do a blanket federal abortion ban. He's going to get rid of IVF." And it's like he literally just said that's not what he's going to. He's not going to do any of that.
I'm sorry,
you
but
know?
he did say something hilarious during that, going, "I'm the best at fertilization."
yeah.
That was a really, it was a dumb line.
Hence
Well,
that-
he does have 3
Hence
kids.
that glitter on his face prior to the fucking
Right,
show.
right, yeah.
You know?
I thought she had glitter. I thought that
No,
was,
no.
Oh,
Well,
No,
he
he
looked
actually
like
had a
he had
fleck
under
of
his
glitter on
eye.
his lip from,
Oh, look.
you know.
It might
His
have been
good
a
luck
little
kiss.
It might have been a little sweat, though. You know, who knows?
For that long, it would have been white.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
especially
maybe.
with all the commercial
Yeah.
breaks.
But you're also under the
And
like
somebody would have
the
said something to him.
house
yeah,
lights and stuff.
He would have. He would have dabbed at it.
But you know, there was a bunch of other shit too, man. That
It was a
just
very
total lies.
frustrating. I think it could.
I was
I
frustrated.
think they need
yeah.
to do another one, but I think he should be able to call the be able to say no. I'll do another one,
I think it should be under a neutral.
but it should
like,
be I get to pick the news channel
Yeah.
that does it.
I think there needs to be a neutral.
No, there's no
arbiter.
such thing as
Yeah.
neutral.
They're
Well,
not-
It's impossible.
Closer to neutral. You know what I mean? Like somebody that. I mean, honestly, man, I was gonna say like someone like that's on the internet, like you know, you get
Musk. Have Musk do it?
or Joe Rogan or
no.
because you
no.
gotta remember, nobody looks at Joe Rogan as neutral.
I understand that, but he's more neutral than these guys are.
I agree,
you know?
but nobody looks at him that way.
Um,
That's not how it works.
But you know, I mean, you get like a few.
He's been labeled a
different
Nazi.
people- Oh, of course, yeah, because
Yeah,
he's,
the left
that
wouldn't
word
allow
means
it.
because
nothing
he's
anymore.
because he's right of fucking Karl Marx.
because the word means nothing now.
I know
the
it
word
doesn't,
racism
yeah.
means nothing.
I know
The
it's
word
all bullshit.
sexism means
that
nothing
was,
anymore.
That bothered me about
Yeah.
her calling him racist. Like that's her card, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
that was her.
God damn it, it's Rob Roy. Rob Roy.
Rob Roy. Oh,
That's the
dude,
movie.
Rob
Yes.
Roy,
Oh.
Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Yes, that's a fucking great movie.
Where he grabs
that's
the
a great
fucking
movie.
sword at the
Yeah.
end to kill him.
Yeah,
I don't know why that popped in my head.
Rob Roy, man, that's a.
Thank you for
that's
all
a
the
great
folks who were
movie.
hitting on the edge of their seats for that.
That's a
answer,
great
too.
movie,
Yeah,
though, Tim.
It is a great
Have you ever
movie.
seen that?
I'm pulling it up now. It sounds
Okay.
familiar, but I
it's
don't think I've
fucking
seen it.
awesome. Liam Neeson's
Liam
the good
Neeson's
guy.
a Scotsman. It's
Yeah.
actually
No,
based
I
off
haven't
real
seen it.
life. It's based
So
off
fucking good.
real event. You know, real
Well, and
guy.
I just remember watching that. I think I watched that with my dad, because he liked those style of movies like that. From
My
the, you know-
first Liam Neeson movie was Kroll.
I haven't seen that one.
I love Kroll,
Yeah,
dude.
with the glaive.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
Kroll was
but
awesome.
I remember
used to watch
this
that all
one.
the time as a kid.
I remember this one and just being kind of like on the edge of your seat the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And then when he's basically dead, this is also back in the time when.
Spoiler alert.
Well, but Tim, this is all. Yeah, don't worry. Spoiler alert. 30-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Older than that.
No.
A 30-year-old movie based off of historical.
But
fact.
yeah, it's also you can just read history and
Yeah.
figure out how
Yeah.
the movie went. But this is also back in the time where you're like, oh man, the guy's about to die. No, he's not. No movie does that in this time
Yeah.
frame. That's the one thing that did suck about the movies we grew up with. The good guy never died, no matter what.
Yeah.
Never happened. There was. I mean, I'm
Your
sure.
main
there,
and if,
characters
he
never
and
did.
if
I'm-
the
I'm
main
sh-
character did die, he would win. It would be
Yes.
like a self-sacrifice kind of
Yes.
thing to win. You know,
and
what I mean?
that rarely happened.
Yeah,
Because it was usually the good guy ends up winning, and then fucking no, there's all flesh wounds.
Out of the
Right,
ashes
right,
come
yeah.
the good guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, he
The
survived.
phoenix rises
Yeah,
again.
That's
Yep.
usually how it happens.
But you know, is the one thing that I do like about more modern movies. Like as we got into the late '90s, early 2000s, those types of movies started showing up.
That's true. I
Where
do agree with
sometimes the good guy died, and this
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why I like No Country for Old Men so goddamn much.
That's a great
Oh my
movie.
God, that one was a good movie.
There's
so
like
good.
no real resolution to it,
Nope.
and it just
No.
fucking ends.
It
and you're
pisses
like,
you off at the very end. You're
Yes.
like, what the flying fuck did I
love
just
that.
fucking watch?
Yeah.
It's also the reason why I like the movie, the Clint Eastwood movie, Million Dollar Baby.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Oh,
one.
that was a good one.
Fucking
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
spoiler
But a
alert.
20-year-old movie, Tim.
She was a
Yeah.
boxer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
she
the-
like breaks her neck.
She ends up getting sucker punched as
Yeah.
the bell after the bell rings, and he's bringing the stool out. He doesn't turn it up in time as she's falling, and she hits her head on the edge of it, or not her head, her neck, and it snaps her neck, and she's paralyzed from the head
paralyzes
down.
her.
And then while she's sitting in bed, she just asks him, "Kill me,"
Okay.
and he's just like. Thinks about it and then just fucking does it, and it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
the
how
movie-
just plugs her
No, he-
IV
No.
or
fucking. I think doesn't he choke her to death or put a
Pillow
pillow
over
over
her
her
face?
head?
Yeah, I think he
it's
smothers
pillow.
her.
Yeah, I think it's pillow.
Yeah.
But
Because it's like, she
Either
doesn't
way,
want to live that way.
the
you
movie
know?
pissed me off so much because it was so good.
yeah.
Not many movies do that.
Well, that's what I liked about No Country is
Yes.
it was slow, but it was worth the wait.
Absolutely.
Every time you're like,
Absolutely.
oh my god.
Well, and they had this building tension, you know.
yeah,
It was
exactly.
I was gonna
good.
say,
Every
'cause-
time you saw
Yeah.
Anton Sugar,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that guy
Well,
had a presence about him.
amazing.
They were smart enough to do it to where they would slow it down in the right spots and then build the tension.
Yeah.
And then something happens, and then it calms down.
Well,
again.
even the action was quiet.
yes, but they did it in such
I
a
love
way.
that they did that. The gunfight that he had in the street with the
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
great.
no
It was-
music, nothing.
it was
Actually,
just quiet,
there's no music.
slow.
Here's another thing. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any music in the movie at all.
I don't think there is either.
There's none.
Yeah. It's just all ambient sound.
Ambient sound of the surroundings.
I wouldn't be surprised to discover that was the case.
I
I
think
think
that's
there
it.
might have been something.
And I think
with-
that kind of even added to the tension.
Yes,
of-
that's
you
why
know?
the tension.
Yeah.
If they had music, you know how sometimes in a movie music does bring the tension in.
Absolutely.
It artificially
Yeah.
brings it, and you go,
Yeah.
oh, this is a tense part.
Mhm.
This didn't need that.
No, it
Yes,
didn't.
I'm supposed to be feeling this way about
Yes.
this scene because
Yeah.
of the music. Yeah,
The actions that you see are why you.
yeah,
feel
it made
that.
it very
That's
raw.
It.
Yeah,
yeah.
it made it very raw and
Yeah.
gritty. You're like, oh my
Uh-huh.
goodness.
That's a movie. I'll
The
watch.
scene that you come across, the Mexican drug,
Oh, dude.
they put that in Grand Theft Auto.
Yep. I remember.
Remember
seeing
coming
that.
across that?
I remember.
Yeah.
I sent you a photo of it when I found it. I go, dude, I found it.
Is it
Yeah,
in Grand
And you're
Theft
like,
Auto
yeah,
5?
I've seen that.
yeah.
Is it in
'Cause I-
Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
find it?
Yeah.
You
That's
come
awesome.
across that very same scene.
So if you play the map and the north part of the map, the far north, right, where you find Trevor, essentially.
Oh, yeah. The like desert
If
area.
if you come down to about halfway and then you start going into the desert, you like the first trail you come off of. There's a hill. Once you go over that hill, that's where the scene is.
Yeah.
And like they even have the dead dogs and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they did really well
And
with
then
that.
a briefcase and then a bunch of fucking like cocaine in the back of a truck. It's fucking awesome.
They did the same on that Arizona Sunshine too, the VR shooter I'm playing. As you're I don't want to say desert because it's Arizona, but it's like
Yeah.
Arizona's the
you're
desert.
going
Yeah,
from
you
one
got
part to
desert.
another part, and as you're going through, it's just wrecked vehicles and pipes and all that. But then there's a Winnebago, and on the side of it's a meth lab.
Nice.
I'm like, oh shit! And you see his suit hanging up outside. Like, oh, okay, we're not going in there.
I remember every fucking time when I was watching that show, I passed any Winnebago for sale. I was just like, you know what? Maybe.
Why not?
It's a good business opportunity.
It's- It's very profitable.
It is a very profitable business where you spend minimal amounts of money to make lots of money. It's
Yeah.
a fucking great business model. I
But-
mean, it doesn't work out, but it's a good.
Yeah, there's always some bad tied into it.
What do you mean?
But that's why you put
I was wondering why my headphones are so goddamn loud. We did turn ours down.
Oh. Oh, well.
Is that why you were yelling this whole? No, you stopped yelling.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stopped yelling.
Stop
I- 'cause
yelling
I
once
can-
the show
I can-
started.
I can hear myself.
Yeah.
But I just realized why it's just been way louder than the last few weeks. Because me and him turned ours down a little bit recently.
Yeah.
Yours was way down.
Yeah, I turned mine down.
Yeah,
because-
yours is down to like a third,
right.
and
'Cause it
ours
makes
was
me speak up.
about 3/4.
Right.
So it works. I
More
think
information for you at home.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the
Little
inner
beh-
workings of the
If you wanna
show.
know about our
A little
sound
inside
settings.
baseball for everyone.
Right.
I hate baseball.
So give us a follow and help us advance the show. Get us more equipment, more cameras, maybe some feedback of what you'd like to hear or see
Start
more
bringing some
about what we
guests
do.
on.
Tell your friends, and if anybody wants
have
to be
a-
a guest, let us know.
We have
Yeah,
an email that you guys can contact us. We've
Yep.
kicked around the idea of
Kevin's
having a
putting
phone.
it right here.
I'll put it right up here. It's
Having a
garbage
phone
pails.
number
Actually, wait,
eventually.
Kevin, over here.
at gmail.com.
Kevin, right here.
Right down
No,
there.
no, over here.
Okay,
That's
over
a better
here.
spot.
Just move it
okay, so
around
up
like
here?
this.
No, right here.
Right here.
down to the bottom.
You know I'm not going to do all these different positions.
there.
It's
I
gonna go
hope
right
you
there.
do.
It's gonna be blurry the whole fucking show because he won't know how to do it. Just like he tried doing the whole blur out that guy's name or the word.
It would not cooperate with
Yeah.
me.
Kevin's computer just catches fire.
yeah.
It's like, I can't do all this shit.
I just got this too.
Okay, we could end it
We
with
did
this.
not cover one goddamn thing.
Not
up
one
there,
thing
dude.
that we were.
That's
we
not
talked
true.
about
We covered the
doing.
debate. We didn't cover James Earl Jones dying until
Oh
just
yeah,
now.
James Earl Jones, R.I.P.
And we
Fucking
will end
legend.
it on this. This is hilarious. People are stupid.
What's that?
Chase Bank. It's fucking right up there.
Yeah. Well, you want to run this then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Push
Okay.
play. So I don't know if anybody had heard about the Chase Bank glitch where people thought they were going to get infinite money. They thought it was real.
A free money glitch has taken over
Turned out it was
TikTok.
fraud.
Except it's not free money. It's fraud. The Chase Bank glitch encourages
I don't know
people
why
to
she's
write
pointing
fake
at
checks
Chase
and
when
deposit them
it's
into
fraud.
their own bank accounts at an ATM. Usually a check has to process before it clears. But users withdrew cash from ATMs knowing the check they wrote wouldn't clear, thinking the bank would accept it with no repercussions. A Chase
She
spokesperson
looks
told
weird.
Fortune that depositing
Yeah.
a bad check is fraud. Plain and simple. The legal repercussions
might
for
be
check
AI.
fraud can vary by state and the amount of money in question.
Her eyes
but
aren't right.
regardless, the social media users are still on the hook for the money.
I know. It does kind of look like she didn't
Ooh.
have eyes.
So they
Yeah, they
are
put
on
those
the
in the
hook
wrong
for
spot.
them.
Oh, 100%.
So the people
The
that
bank
did this,
is going after every single person
every
that
person
did
that
it.
did it.
So I watch police videos from time to time.
Uh-huh.
I ended up stumbling on one. That's one of the reasons why I thought to bring this up here. I stumbled on one where this lady, the bank had,
They have your information.
well, the bank had bullshitted this lady.
They know who did all
Yeah.
these, you know.
Well, it's in your account. It's
That's
your
what
name.
I mean.
Yeah.
So we know your name,
It-
your number,
it's-
your address.
It's
Was like,
fucking retarded. But this lady had gone in and tried
no,
to
the
do it.
internet said it was a glitch. It's
Yeah.
true.
It's totally cool.
This lady had gone in and tried to do this. The bank had kind of tricked her into staying in the bank till the police arrived because
Oh,
they had already called her.
yeah, right.
Called them, and then they go in, and then she's giving all these bullshit answers. I've got anxiety for cops and stuff. It's like, no, you just got fucking caught.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I.
Can you please refer to me
Yeah.
by correct pronouns?
It was
Most
just
criminals have
absolute-
anxiety from cops.
It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know why anyone would think that this is not going to come back to. You're right. It's literally your fucking account
Yeah.
with your name and your signature.
It's like you
Well,
commit
then
a
it'll
crime
just go into
and you
collections. I'll be
literally-
fine.
Yeah. No, you literally commit a crime, and it's like leaving your ID, your address,
No,
all that
it-
stuff at the scene of the crime.
No, it's not. It's leaving your fucking signature
Yeah,
at the crime.
yeah, exactly.
It's not kind of like
Right,
doing
no,
it's that.
exactly. That's what I'm
You're
saying.
doing that. You're also leaving your fucking face because your face is on the camera the
Yeah,
whole
it's
time.
Oh,
only
yeah,
done
of
at
course.
ATMs.
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
go to the teller and do it. It
No,
has to be done
well,
at
so
an ATM.
I think for her something happened at the ATM, and then they called her in and they're like, "Hey, we can do this, but we got to go and do it in the back room and all this."
I wonder
She's
how
like, "Oh,
many.
okay."
I wonder how many idiots actually did this.
A lot.
a lot.
Dude, there's
it was
videos.
a TikTok. It was a TikTok phenom
Yeah,
for a little
there,
bit.
my
there were videos
God.
of lines around the Chase Bank that went around the block,
Clearing out
and
ATMs.
this is multiple Chase
Yeah.
banks. This is not one bank. This is all over the country
These
that had
people
Chase
are
banks.
fucking
Yes.
stupid.
Absolutely fucking stupid. They're like, it's
Like,
free money,
free
right?
money, yeah.
Absolutely stupid.
Free money's never fucking free,
Yeah, well,
ever.
it depends on who you are.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Thank
mean,
you so
it
much
happens.
for following and listening and watching. We
I think
love you
Tim
all.
wants to end the show.
All right.
Just letting everyone know that we care about you.
All right.
We
Goodbye,
do care.
everybody. Thanks for listening. Follow us on the socials and all that shit. Or don't. I don't give a shit.
Do it.
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, or you can listen to Kevin. We don't. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Good night. Or morning. Or whatever the fuck you're at.
Whatever
I don't
time
care.
it is.
Take time into the madness. No time for control.